Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever knowledge seminar on a specific industry from the International Advertising Association. Welcome to real estate in a digitized world. Real estate has been a great creator of wealth and status since time immemorial, and the digital world is defining our world even as we talk about it. When real estate marries the virtual world, you have something truly path-breaking and valuable for all concerned. I wonder why no one thought of a seminar like this before, huh? The International Advertising Association, or the IAA as we like to call it, is in its 75th year and is a unique blend of advertisers, advertising agencies, and the media, represented in 75 countries across the world. The India chapter seems to be on steroids this year, churning out a remarkable number of meaningful events, debates, and webinars that have earned it the tag of the most active association in the industry. And to tell you more about all that, and to formally welcome you, may we have on stage the President of the India chapter of the IAA and Vice President Development, Asia Pacific IAA. He is the chairman of R.K. Swamy BBDO and is called the man in perpetual hyperdrive. Please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Srinivasan K. Swamy.
Friends, when I was persuaded to take this job of President of IAA, I thought it's going to be easy ride. But there is one person in this room, and he'll remain unnamed, made sure that the credit goes to me, but the work stays with him. The fact of the matter is, it's been an exciting drive for all of us at IAA to get to where we are. You know, I don't even know how long we've been there. I've been there for a long time. It was, I think, in the month of August, I became the president of IAA, and I've been privileged to have a set of committee members who have actually been driving me crazy, along with my friend in this room, to do events and all kinds of activities that one would call on overdrive. We had the first major event, which is the IAA Leadership Award, which actually honored outstanding professionals in marketing, advertising, and media. That was the first big event that we did after I took over. Then, quickly after that, came the IAA Gender Sensitization Seminar to actually sensitize people who are content creators and television, print, feature films and all of that, on how they should actually look at women when unless they've been typifying women the way they've been portrayed in all these media, and we actually thought we would do this seminar which would sensitize them, think about how they're actually unwittingly doing something. Then we had this wonderful, wonderful event called IAA Olive Crumb Awards, which has been there for the last 2 years, the third year in the running. And we took this to a different level, if I may put it that way, where we honor advertising, which is actually promoting the green sustainability communication. And this has been well received now, and I'm sure as we go forward, it will no longer be an advertising-related award, but a cost-related award. We also have had 4 debates, what we call IAA debates, on a chosen topic on marketing, advertising, and media. We've had some wonderful debates that took place in Mumbai, Goa, Delhi, and even Bangalore. We take it around, and we get excellent speakers, very senior people talking for and against subject. And that itself is wonderful because they now are actually after each other's throat, as it were, when they debate a given topic. We also have 4 wonderful webinars, what we call IAA mentorship webinars, primarily aimed at young people. And these webinars we have already 4 of them. We had this head of Google, head of Redef, head of LinkedIn. We also had Julie Rohim, who is chief storyteller of SAP from New York, coming on the webinar and talking about how to build brands. We would have a lot more events. We're going to have a seminar on emerging agencies, like we have the journalist seminar today, which is devoted to real estate. We're going to have one on emerging agencies, both in Delhi and Bombay. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful IAA Curious Digiyatra. I'm told that we already have some 400 delegates, and we're looking at 1,350 delegates in Goa. It's going to be a major event. It's going to be done in partnership with Curious. I have Mr. Rajesh Kejriwal here, who's a partner from Curious. It's going to be wonderful. Even I do hope many of you will be there. As part of Platinum Jubilee celebrations for IAA Global, we're going to have a global marketing summit on what I would call global next practices. That's going to be on 30th September in Bombay. I do hope that some of you can be there. We're also looking to have Mr. Narendra Modi talk about his vision of Brand India, and I would take it forward. I think it'd be a great hit at the time. But one thing that actually we are very, very dedicated and focused on this year is to actually bring in digital subject to the core of many of the things that IAA does today. We have had 2 debates, IAA debates, focused on the subject of digital. We have this event, again, focused on digital. We have entire webinars. It's called World Goes Digital as the overall theme for the webinar. So we also have to focus on digital there. So IAA believes that digital aspects of that digital medium is least understood, and so we should get a focus on it done. And I think it's been a reasonably good journey from that perspective. So what does IAA do? In short, I think it recognizes excellence by giving these awards, wonderful awards, both for creativity as well as for leadership. I think it brings about wonderful debates on a subject of relevance. It's again, one important thing all of us believe in is protects the freedom of commercial speech. I think we believe in promoting fairness and gender sensitivities in all kinds of communication. And again, promote sustainability and sustainable communication by avoiding excellence. But all this is fine. Where do we go from here? It is always a challenge to turn a new chapter. And we believe that increasingly IAA will become relevant in whatever activities we pursue to the marketing, advertising, and media world. And it is that journey that 22 of our management company members are committed to for the leadership in. Yes, we have 22 members. Some friend of mine called it 2 cricket teams that we are representing. But unlike most cricketing teams where they fight with each other and politicize the environment, we are a very cohesive team. We have very well-known veterans there of the Tendulkars and Dravids of the world. We also have the brash Rainas and Shikhar Dhawans of the world. Many wonderful players who actually put their shoulder to the wheel to get this going. It is actually interesting that many of the programs I listed have been taken, one person, the committee had taken charge of and executed the whole thing. It's been amazing that this particular program, the one on real estate and digitized world, has been left to Mr. Jaideep Gandhi, what my good friend calls him a one-man army, to put this program together. He found the speakers, he found the supporters, sponsors, delegates, everything. And he also got the whole hoardings put up all over Bombay to get this event to what it is today. Mr. Jaideep Gandhi is not just a good friend. He has been an amazing, amazing man. And of course, he has been supported very well by Tushar Vyas of Group N. Where's Tushar? Thank you, Tushar. It's been amazing. I do want to take this opportunity to welcome every one of you. I know that the guests of honor will be coming later this evening. We're going to have a wonderful program today, and there are a lot of learnings that we can have. I do hope that you stay back and listen to all these speeches, because even if you take 1 or 2 lessons from this half-a-day seminar and practice it when you get back to your work on Monday morning, I think the time is well worth it. Thank you for your attention. Right.
Mr. Swami, may I invite you back on stage, please? Thank you. And may I request the seminar chairman and honorary treasurer, IAA, Mr. Jaideep Gandhi, to please come on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from the content and people who organize things, there is one thing that really brings everything together, and that's sponsorship. And so we'd like to thank our generous sponsors for helping us make this afternoon possible. May we please call on stage Mr. Manish Gupta from the Hira Nandani Group. Could we have our tokens of appreciation going on? Thank you. Mr. Hamid Khwaza from Lokanwala Infrastructure. Ms. Manisha Khanna from Seth Creators. Mr. Kishore Rohira from the Regency Group. Mr. Umam Kawadia from Happy Home. And friends, at this stage, may I also thank our supporters who have worked with us to create this unique event. And may I invite on stage the representatives of Group M, Mr. Tushar Vyas. From Realty Plus, Ms. Tripti Kedia. From Socio Square, Mr. Gaurav Mendirata. From Area Communications, Ms. Sweta Pawar. Awards and Rewards Private Limited, Mr. Sachin Kalbag. I'm sorry. Prashant, I'm sorry about that, Prashant. Sporting Edge Communities, Ms. Swapna Mehindle. Engineer Productions, Mr. Jasjeet Singh. From Global Outdoors, Mr. Sanjeev Gupta. MCIH, Mr. Ashok Lula. MCHI, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Swami. Thank you, Sherry.
I think, and maybe now thank our charming host, Diana Hedden, for always being a great friend of the advertising industry. A moment for her, please.
Pleasure. Thank you. Oh, I get one of those too.
Friends, I did hint at the fact that this program wouldn't have been possible but for the one-man army called Jaideep Gandhi, but there was a lot of foot soldiers and sergeants and colonels behind him, and I thought we should also call them on stage and thank them adequately. Vishakha Shah, Sneha Mahetre, Lalita Singh, Rekha Patil, Dashna Parekh, Vindi Vasa, Tripti Patka, Natasha Sahani. Can you have all these wonderful ladies on stage? Where are you, wonderful ladies? All you ladies, come up. Vishakha Shah, Sneha Mahetre, Lalita Singh, Rekha Patil, Dashna Parekh, Vindi Vasa, Tripti Patkar, Natasha Sahani. Where are the other ladies?
Ramesh, please come up on stage. Ramesh is always the silent person behind things who helps out and gets things in order. Me too. Thank you, gentlemen. Well done, ladies. I didn't leave this backstage because I wanted to show you all. It's amazing. I've done a lot of work with the IAA, and every time there's just something so creative that they come up with. And this is just so digital, and it's so colorful. I want to say congratulations to you all for making this. Well done. Now I should just put it at the side. And thank you for that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to provide an overview of the digital scenario in the country today, we have with us, as you've seen earlier, Tushar Vyas, Managing Partner South Asia for Group M. Tushar leads the digital media practice for Media Major Group M. And Tushar was also a part of the team that set up SureWaves, the integrated ad aggregation, content delivery, network management, media planning and reporting platform for multiple forms of digital media. Did I get that right, Tushar? Not bad. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage, Tushar. They took it away. Welcome.
Thanks, Dinah. Am I audible? Yeah. I think Sundar has briefly set a context for the session. In fact, I want to start with the way I used to behave a few years back and the way I behave today. So if I go for any client meeting, maybe a few years back, I used to have a chat with client, try to understand what kind of phone they are using. Are they, as an individual, are they into social media? Do they transact online? Do they have e-com transaction they have done in past or stuff like that? I think if I go today, this survey will be 100% on. As an individual, I think all of us would have moved on as a digital citizen. And if I quickly check in this room also, all of you guys, in terms of individual behavior, you would have moved on where maybe 95% or 100% digital citizen with smartphone in hand, completely living digital life, doing travel booking online, managing your bank account online. So I think in terms of as a consumer, there's a huge amount of change which is happening, but does it reflecting in terms of our behavior when we wear the marketer's hat? So in this context, I'm going to talk in next 20 minutes some numbers and some of the trend which can set a context for the session which is going to come after me. So if you look at today in terms of technology, people are highly involved. People are living the life. So people love Apple, people love Facebook, people love Twitter. And it's becoming part of their life. It's no more something which is distance to them. Again, if you look at few years back, technology used to be pain for many people, but if you look at today, it become pretty much integral part of their life. Their behavior is changing. Their psychographic profile in terms of the way they look at technology is very, very different. It's very much integral in terms of their day in life. If you look at today behavior, how you consume media is not passive anymore. You're not looking at more like a couch potato kind of thing and looking at TV very passively. But people are participating. People are interacting with the content, be it a video content, be it a news or any other. People are participating, people are sharing it. And in fact, one of the biggest example is TV content. Any TV content you see kind of social chatter it generates today is amazing. So there's a huge amount of interaction which is happening with the content in a different manner. And not only it's a consuming, but people are becoming creator. And it's not in thousands, but in millions. So millions of people are generating content today. And the definition of content is becoming much, much wider today than what it used to be a few years back. And with this context, I just wanted to move into some of the numbers. So if there is any people still sitting in the room who think digital is a niche medium, digital is a small medium, so just wanted to address before we move on. So in putting number in a context, basically, if you look at India today, and I'm largely talking about the PC internet here. So today, close to 140 million people on the PC internet, and if you add a mobile connected people, this number will be more than 200 million people today. And that will make it almost 70% of India's urban population. So today, urban India population around 340 million. And we are talking about almost 70% of urban India population digitally connected through various means. Again, if I narrow down a bit, there is a sort of marketing way of defining socioeconomic class, SEC. And typically, A1 is the guy who buys your flats in a crore plus kind of things. Right? So those are the guys, if you look at, it's maybe 33 million kind of number. But again, if you look at internet as a medium, is a 4 times bigger than that. Look at English print. Today, English print has readership in range of 38 million. So again, putting a number in a context, digital is 4 times bigger than that. And again, you narrow down to specific properties. Times of India, which is the largest English daily today, has got average issue readership. So in a specific day, there are 7 odd million, 7.5 million end up reading Times of India. On a typical day, 10 million people access Facebook. So that's the kind of number we are talking. Video platforms on a typical week, TV viewership with the higher SEC is 33 million, while YouTube as a single platform is more than 22 million. In fact, this number, when Nitin comes, this number might be a bit revised because this number are changing on a weekly basis, if not daily basis, and this number are getting bigger and bigger day by day. And if you look at Indian context compared to global, there are a few game changers, and the biggest game changer is going to be smartphone devices. So as of today, more than 60 million handheld devices in the market which is connected, and which can do almost a PC can do in this environment. And if you look at within that also tablets, which is 2 million as of last published number, but by end of the year, this number will be close to 10 million or more. So this is the kind of computing power, this is the kind of data connectivity is getting into people's hand, which is bigger than any English print, which is bigger than many of the TV channel in the country. And if you look at the kind of data consumption happening, it's in terms of gigabytes and gigabytes of data. Somewhere mobile is also helping in terms of consumption, always on environment and stuff like that. Interestingly, if you look at the people's behavior who are data connected, they spend, as of today, more time on data devices than the TV. And this number is very, very different in context of India, even compared to US. So people connected in India market is spending more time on connected device compared to TV kind of medium. So with this data, I just want to talk about 4 or 5 key trends in terms of consumer, and then I'll quickly look at what can be possibly implication in terms of we guys as a marketer or we guys as an advertiser. So if you look at people's content consumption is moving multi-screen, so it's no more limited to single screen. Or interestingly, it's people are meshing of various experiences. So while they are watching TV, they are also on a Facebook. While they are watching TV, they are also tweeting. Or if they miss any episode, they will go to YouTube or they'll go to a Star Plus player kind of platform and check out those contents. So it's not limited to a single screen. And if you look at, again, online kind of media, India is 3rd largest video content consuming country. So in terms of global comparison also, we are somewhere reaching there. And that base is growing on a 40% year-on-year basis. And India today consumes 4 billion videos in a typical month. So that's a kind of scale we are talking about. Platform like YouTube reaches 90% of top TV channel. In fact, YouTube, you take any demographic cut, YouTube will be one of the top 10 channel, sitting with the Star Plus and Z and Sony and those kind of TV channels. And increasingly, this content is getting distributed at a multiple platforms. So it's not, display is not going to be limited to YouTube kind of platform, but look at VU Clip, which is mobile-specific video content platform. And kind of number is, again, amazing. It's a 40 million kind of reach that platform gets. So it's becoming device agnostic, multi-device kind of behavior, and multi-format kind of behavior. Second behavior, if you take consuming news, so it's not, again, limited to reading newspaper or reading looking at a TV channel, right? So contents are getting curated, contents are getting customized. Your source is no more limited to sort of broadcast kind of medium, which is highly packaged, but it's a mashup of various things. There are various people creating content. There are multiple tweets coming. So I think most of you would have come to know any breaking news on a Twitter and Facebook compared to maybe a sort of print or TV, right? So that's a kind of change which is happening. And if you look at today, within same sort of publication group or a same media group, Times of India, as I said, reached 7.5 to 8 million, while their own group properties, which is like a Times Internet or a mobile platform, which is 10 and 5 million kind of number. So as a group, their digital properties are becoming bigger than even print properties. Third area, if you look at mobile is becoming bridging devices. So mobile is not only a sort of access devices, but becoming a bridge between real world and sort of virtual world. So I'm sure many of you would have used the QR code or a Times of India Alive kind of application, but it can go beyond what you see in a sort of QR code kind of environment. So there are technologies now which is on the near field communication. There are technology which works on a sort of let long and give based on your location kind of contents. In fact, if you look at this image, this is a supermarket in a Japan railway station. So it's a virtual supermarket, so there are images there. You go with your mobile phone, you just scan whatever you want to buy, and the goods get delivered at your home. So it's no more sort of standalone devices, but it's something which is always on your hand. Wherever you go, it goes with you, and always ready to open a complete digital world for you, starting from content to transaction. If I move to the fourth user trend, basically social is become pretty integral. So it's no more social as a component, but social getting integrated in entire web. So be it your travel experience, be it your Facebook experience. So take any of the website today, it's a socially connected, there'll be a social element to it, and ready to allow you to share, ready to integrate outside content, outside view, and stuff like that. And also it's becoming mobile. So for example, in Indian context, there are more people accessing Facebook from a mobile than the PC. So it's, again, all on the go, always on kind of environment which is creating. And even today's politician, means all of you are aware about the Obama's success, but in Indian context also, the more and more people are getting from political side or from celebrity side on this medium to connect with the users. And people say this election is going to be a turning point in terms of the way politicians are going to work in a digital media. And the last one is basically geography's boundaries are blurring, and especially it goes in terms of information or content kind of environment. So data is available, data is always with you. People have access to information which is happening on other markets. So today, to know what is happening in US, you don't need to travel, but those information available to all the users at a click of button. And that is making consumer more aware about what is happening globally. Their choices are getting shaped by what is happening globally rather than what is happening locally in Indian market. So if this is the context, these are the trend which is happening where consumer is more and more getting connected and communication is more and more getting connected. What's the implication for us? So somewhere if you look at content is becoming key to the entire thing. So when I say content, the content is in a broader definition. What you put on website, what you create as a video, what experience you give in an online environment, your Facebook asset, your Twitter assets and stuff like that. So what asset or what content you are creating in an online environment is becoming somewhere central. And advertising is becoming more and more content driven rather than a specific message driven. Marketing job is becoming more of a curating content and channelizing than distributing on a mass media. Brands are becoming more of a publisher of content in a specific context. And as a marketer, our job is becoming more storytelling, more narration, rather than a sort of interruption or running a campaign once or twice in a year or stuff like that. And somewhere the consumer is participating to what you are talking about. So they are not a passive message listener, but they are active contributor to entire conversation here. Second thing is multi-screen thinking becoming essential. So you can't think of a single screen or a single format. So it's not only newspaper or TV, but you need to think about multiple screen. And within digital also multiple screens. So it's no more 15-inch PC screen, but it's a 5-inch mobile phone or a 10-inch tablet are becoming important. So one need to get into more responsive thinking, more responsive design, which ready to render in a different environment and give message. I'm sure Sudhir will talk about Magic Brick, but he is running a campaign right now that Magic Brick is available on all formats. So somewhere consumer needs information and they need information on the go. So that's where we need to start also moving into that environment where we are just one click away. So whenever they are looking for us, we should be there and happy to help customer. Third area, basically, it's becoming more audience-driven. So, more and more, we are moving into data-driven environment. So, currently, if somebody walks into our outlet or walks into our sales office for any query, we create a database, we create a form, and then there is a CRM programs runs behind that to reach out to same customer, follow up, and stuff like that. But do we do a similar amount of rigor when somebody visits our website? Do we track of them? And most of the cases, answer will be no. So somewhere people visiting our website has shown some intent, has shown some inclination to engage with us, be it in terms of purchase, be it in terms of knowing more. And I think we are moving into era where we need to start tracking those people actively. And there are technologically ways to track them. And you can reach out to the same audiences again with the different messaging and then bring them back. And you can start eventually clustering them. So, for example, people who visited your website, people who are repeat visiting your website, that means there is even keen interest. So the way to define your audience is changing. So it's no more a classical SEC-AB or catchment kind of thing, but it's becoming more like an intent or behavior kind of thing. So what's my audience behavior and how am I going to address that? A person visiting site first time and you reach out, retarget them after a week, your message can be different vis-a-vis a person visited your website 10 times and you're reaching out to them. That means the person visited 10 times is keenly interested, he is doing some homework and ready to maybe meet you or transact you and stuff like that. So you can run in a way a very large scale CRM program which is more intent driven rather than your people visiting your outlet or sales office kind of thing. And digital provides all this facility where you can capture intent, not only behaviors. Fourth area which is becoming important is conversation. There is a huge amount of conversation happening around brand, and I'm sure including the real estate kind of category. So people do talk about product, people do talk about experiences, and it's a time to start monitoring what charter is happening, what's implication. So that will have impact on a subsequent communication, that will have impact on what you are going to talk, how you're going to behave in your communication and real-world interactions. So I think the top line one need to look at what's the volume of mention, do people talk about it or no? And many times you need to listen beyond your brand. It can be, again, in this industry context, it can be catchment, it can be area. So you might get insight which is pretty relevant. So western suburb versus central suburb, for example. So what kind of discussion going on? Or upcoming area, whether it's Kandivali or it's Avashi. So you get some kind of feel in terms of what people talk about location, localities, and in and around surrounding kind of thing. So that can be a rich mining in terms of where to go for project or where to go for marketing in terms of looking for right kind of audiences. Other thing is theme associated with the campaign and competition. So you can do competitive tracking also that what people are talking about the other projects or what people are talking about the competitive brands. And all this information can be fed back into building campaign somewhere, building your communication, and then it's ongoing refinement process. So it's not a one-time process, but you continuously keep listening and then it creates a loop where you keep refining these messages. And somewhere you look at, and this is some random 4-5 names I picked up to check. And if you look at in last 3 years' time, the conversation around property and property assets have grown, and it's growing multifold. So I think time is right where people are talking about it, and we should start listening what they are talking about and start understanding more on that. So if you have to summarize somewhere, basically what it's creating is a huge data-rich environment, and somewhere that audience data is sitting as central, and that data has got implication on a various way. So kind of assets or kind of communication which we are building, be it in terms of our advertising to our website, to our application, whatever we build in a digital environment. Kind of media solution which we are picking up. So again, search, social, all this area, and what kind of targeting which we are doing. Kind of data management platform which we are putting in terms of whether it's a traditionally defined CRM solution or a new age CRM solution where you are capturing a larger behavior and intent and how you are reaching out it. And then finally all this come together and can be a data visualization which helps you take a management decision. So that's how the overall decision ecosystem which is evolving for a marketing set of people. So if I had to summarize, basically it's not a single event, it's in a way confluence of many events. Of course, digital is driving this event, and as a result, what is happening is there is a content everywhere. There is content getting created by everyone. So it's a you and I, or a people, a common man is creating content, and there are specialists creating content. The brands are curating the content. So there is multiple activity happening on that front. Digital is everywhere, so it's not limited access, but on the go. And basically, there are people say there are more phones in the country than the loo, so that's the kind of access we have here. And somewhere social is making more democratic entire environment, and there is enough people voices heard. So there are multiple events are happening and creating that always on connected environment. And its time is ripe for us to get ready for the new world order in that sense. So this is just to start and set a context. Happy to take a few questions before we move on to next session. Sorry, this slide? Yeah. Sorry, you're not audible. One sec.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, my question is, how do you arrive at the various solutions, whether it would be a content web solutions or tech solutions or dashboards and visualization tools? So if you can give an example and drive the whole thing, so it would be beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, so somewhere this comes from basically, as I said, the audience data is a center point, and our understanding of audience is center point. So if I have to just give a context of this industry, if you're launching a very premium project, in terms of your web solution, it's important it's a tablet-ready solution. Because all your guys who are going to access your website are going to access from iPad kind of devices. So if you think conventionally and put up your website, which is not rendering well on a tablet, then we haven't done your homework properly. So some of these are very basic, while some of them can go to a next level, which I said in terms of people visiting your website, how do you tag them and then keep readdressing those customers. So there are technology solutions which allows you to remarket or cluster your audiences on an ongoing basis and create specific messages for that. And some of the solution, again, Google kind of company or Facebook kind of company also provide, where you reach out to same set of audiences who have shown some intent or interacted with your assets in a web environment. So it can be very basic, commonsensical level to advanced technology solution level. And based on your need, you can cluster it where you want to peg it.
Sorry, I'm Rizwan Khatri from JC Homes Limited. Just want to understand how much social media like Facebook or something can be effective for a high value apartment in real estate industry in a specific way. Do we get conversions out of social media?
Yeah. So I want to define the social in a slightly larger context. So Facebook is definitely a platform, and a very, very important platform, but there are platforms which is beyond Facebook in this context. So for example, if you're looking for a premium audiences, then platform like LinkedIn also play important role. Having said that, there are premium brands which are on a Facebook for various reasons, starting from engaging to generating the lead, and we are seeing the fair amount of success. But if you are looking from opinion-driving leadership, then the activity which you do beyond Facebook is more important than what you do in Facebook. So that's where forums, blogs, all these things are more important than the platform like Facebook.
I was talking about in terms of conversion. Branding, I understand it happens quite a bit on the Facebook and other Twitters and things like that. But conversions I'm talking about, actually a person making his mind out of the social media like Facebook.
So basically what we have seen in impulse kind of category conversion happening. Real estate conversion happening straight away from the Facebook will be a bit sort of far-fetched. But definitely in case of impulse category, we are seeing a lots of conversion. Basically food, retail, e-com, all this category, there is a huge amount of transaction which is happening. In fact, we work with Domino's kind of clients and stuff like that. So on a typical month, we would be doing few thousand transactions through this kind of platform. Yep. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Tushar. Tushar, please don't go away. Tushar, may I call you back on stage, please? Well, we just realized that, I realized at least that we're not just dipping our toes with what you said in the sea, we are surfing the big wave. Forgive the joke. In a minute, we're going to have a lucky draw come up, and one of you lucky people are going to win a Samsung tablet. But before that, may I please call on stage Ms. Lara Balsara from Madison Communications to present a memento to Tushar Vyas as a token of our appreciation. Thank you, Lara. Thank you, Tushar. And now may I request the President, Mr. Swami, on stage to perform the pleasant task. Mr. Swami is going to pick a business card from the bowl and read out the name of the lucky person who is about to get a Samsung tablet, which is courtesy Indigo Property UAE. Wait, is my card there? There should be 5 of them there. Oh, come on.
Rajesh Lifescapes.
Come here.
Vishal Doshi.
Congratulations, Vishal. You get a Samsung tablet. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, having got our overview, let's proceed straight into how we need to make sure we are spotted by the right people in cyberspace, and also how we can catch all those potential buyers from amongst an absolute ocean of netizens. And to tell us how, we have with us Nitin Bavankule, Industry Director, India for the global giant Google. Nitin brings us his over 2 decades expertise in the host of relevant areas, and more directly, all that makes him in charge of direct sales management and channel management and corporate sales, or for consumer and corporate sales, at Google. Could we have Nitin on stage, please? Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, first of all, for inviting me on behalf of Google for speaking here. I was in fact fascinated by what Tushar presented here, because with every slide Tushar was moving ahead, I was thinking, oh shit, this is my deck. But I said, fine. Tushar, you should have told me you'll be speaking about Google so much, then I would have kind of made changes to my deck. By the way, just to give my introduction, I am Nitin Bavankole. I've been working for Google for close to 2 years and managed 3 industry verticals. One amongst them is online classifieds, on which we, in our definition, online classifieds means every category or every industry which believes in the offline classified business. So to give you an idea, there are 3 big verticals there. One is real estate, that's why I'm here. Second is jobs, and the third one is the real local classifieds, what we call as the world of Just Dial, the world of Get It, the world of Sulekha.coms. The second vertical which I manage is e-commerce, about which Tushar did mention some things, and there was a question I would like to definitely answer about it, where the likes of the Flipkarts, the Amazons of the world work. And the third industry which I manage is media entertainment, which is also housed in Bombay. So before I start, I just thought I'll give you an example of my own experience. I'm a Mumbaikar. I lived in Bombay for a long time. And then because Google happened, I had to move out of Bombay and I've shifted to Delhi. I live in Gurgaon now. And around 6 months back, one of my good friends, who also happens to be from your fraternity of broking and real estate community, called me up because he's the person who's also responsible for me buying an apartment earlier in Mumbai. And he said, Nitin, there's a new project coming up in Kandivali. Will you be interested in buying? I said, yeah, why not? So he said, okay, I can't name the builder here because I think many of you would see him or that person as a competitor. But so he told me the name. He said, go to this website, Nitin, you will find everything. And I was kind of shocked. I went to that website. I could see the name of that project. I could see the photograph of the project. And what else could I see? Nothing else. I was sitting in Gurgaon. I wanted to invest whatever, 1.5 or 2 crores for that property, and I couldn't see anything else. And then I called up this friend of mine and said, Viresh, there's nothing here. He said, photo hai na, kharid le. मैं बोला यार फोटो है, बोलता टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में भी देखता तो फोटो ही दिखता, खरीदता ना तू. I said, yeah, maybe. And then it gave me a thought that, yeah, most of us end up buying a property by seeing, and no offense meant to Times of India group. I'm just saying Times of India as an example, any newspaper, for example. End up buying a property by seeing a photograph in a newspaper, because very few of us really go on television, because I don't think real estate has really used television as a big medium to advertise. But most of us, and I'm assuming 90% of this crowd here also has bought an apartment or a bungalow, depending on everyone's choice, on the basis of a photo. Am I wrong? A photo in a newspaper or a photo in a brochure. And then it struck me that if it would have been on an interactive medium, to which Tushar really referred, internet being an interactive medium, imagine a situation, okay? And then I decided to do some research around international websites on real estate builders and broking community. And you would be amazed. You can literally walk through the house. Every nook and corner of that apartment you can see. What will you see out of the window? You can see. How does the toilet look? What is the size of the toilet? And I mean, because in the photograph everything looks feet by feet. It doesn't give you an idea if I'm standing under the shower, can I move my arms or not? But in that property website, I could do that. If I am a 6 feet 3 inch tall guy, where is the ceiling of where's the shower? Now imagine having that kind of an experience on your website. If that kind of experience would have come to me, I would have bought that property then and there. But I had to come down to Bombay. Fortunately, I traveled to Bombay for my work. I came to Bombay, and that's why I ended up buying, because I said, okay, this builder is trustworthy, the apartment looks good, at least the model apartment which I was seeing, and I ended up buying. So I thought I'll share this experience just to give you an idea of what happens to a person who wants to buy an apartment. And this is my own experience. Many other people do not have that opportunity. Many other people would say, okay, I can't travel to Bombay, just go ahead and book it. So I thought I'll give you an example, and I think this might maybe interest some of you to get into that. There's one question. So before I get into the deck, the reason I thought I will cover some of these topics is because I don't want to forget when I get into the deck. There was a question which was asked by someone. I don't know who asked that question. Can real estate be bought on Facebook, right? Can I ask that person to stand up? Yeah. How many of you heard something called Great Online Shopping Festival which happened last year? Some of you might have heard about it, right? It was an online shopping festival which was conducted by all the e-commerce players, and Google and Facebook, everyone was there. One of the interesting things when we were tying up with all these e-commerce players was one of the car manufacturers came to us and they said, can we partner in this? We said, yeah, go ahead. You think you can sell cars online? Go ahead, do it. The car manufacturer tied up on Great Online Shopping Festival. Okay, now this car company, unfortunately for them, their internet servers are based in Germany. So you can guess which company it would be. Okay, and unfortunately on the 12th of December 2012, for some funny reason, 6 a.m. India time, their servers crashed. So from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m., the website was not working. So anyone who came to the Great Online Shopping Festival website and clicked on that brand name, went to the website which said, sorry, the page is down. At 6 p.m. somehow they scrambled and got the website up. Okay, and the GOSF, or the Great Online Shopping Festival, was going to end close at midnight. Between 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., they got 220 registrations for buying the car, of which more than 3 buyers finally bought the car within 7 days. And each car was worth above 4 lakh rupees. Now, that is not a transactional purchase. Okay, the brand was Skoda, by the way. So in case if anyone is interested, the brand was Skoda, and you Skoda guys, this happened. So just to answer this, yes, a real estate can also be bought online. You will never be able to pay 2.5 crore or 3 crores or 5 crores online, because in India, everyone will stand up if you decide to transfer that kind of money online. But yes, you can find a lead, you can close the lead on the basis of that. In fact, one of the slides which I have in my deck, you will be very interested to figure out how different or how similar an industry which is also a very high value, high interaction, high involvement purchase like real estate behaves online. And there's no reason why real estate cannot behave like that, okay? So some of the slides, as I said, might be common to what Tushar said, so I'll run through them, but let's go through this. By 2015, 45%, so by the way, there is a 7 billion population on the world, approximately 7 billion. Of that, already 2 billion people are connected online. The estimate from Google is that by 2015, close to 3.5 billion people will be online. They will be connected on the internet through 15 billion devices, most of which will be mobile phones or what we call as smartphones. And of that, 40% of this traffic will come from Asia. And you know, if you say Asia, it is basically China and India, no one else, right? In terms of at least population. So basically this is going to be India. Mobile internet soon to outpace desktop. Now, Tushar did mention about this, that mobile has become a very important feature. So let's see how it is important. And since I'm from Google, I'll be showing you many numbers. So if you guys are interested in numbers, maybe you will find this interesting. Look at this chart. The blue line shows the internet users on desktop. And the red line shows the internet users through mobile devices. Mobile devices can be your normal feature phones, smartphones, or tablets. So somewhere between 2013 and 2014, globally, the number of people accessing internet will be more on mobile. So it's just a matter of few months now, okay? In fact, already mobile internet traffic is growing 3x faster than the desktop, and that's the reason you can see the chart, the red line growing much faster. Let's talk about video. What's happening? This is important. 57% of all the internet traffic is video content, and that's where I mentioned video. Imagine if I can get a video where I can see the entire apartment or in a villa or a bungalow, whatever you may have. 72 hours of video are uploaded every minute on YouTube. Every minute. 72 hours. That's a phenomenal number. That shows how people are enamored by video. And that's an interactive video. It's not a video where you just go and see something. Internet video users to rise by 7x. Now let's come to the India story. What's happening in India? All those numbers till now were global numbers. Now let's look at India. Last year, 2012, the internet population was close to 137 million. If I look at that 137 million in Indian population terminology, it's close to 12% of the Indian population already on the internet last year. And it is expected to touch 300 million by 2015, just about 2 years. In fact, the recent report by FICCI says that that number would be 350 million. So 1/3 of the Indian population will be online. And that is what is a big implication for you. And this 1/3 of the population of India approximately is the population which buys the apartments, the villas, the bungalows which all of you make. They are the SEC A, and I would also include SEC B, and I will also include maybe SEC C higher class, right? So this is the population which is online, okay? Now what's driving this internet growth? Some of the statistics on mobile. By 2017, in India, 62% of the internet-enabled devices will be smartphones. In fact, if I add feature phones and tablets, basically over 80% of the people will be accessing internet only through mobile devices. Personal mobile device, not a shared device. And that's the statement from one of the CEOs of one of the leading e-commerce player. They are expecting close to 20% of their revenue coming from mobile devices in the next few months. By the way, this company already gets close to 10% of their transactions from mobile devices. Okay, final purchase. It's not a fictional thing, it's an actual thing today. 10% of their transactions already come from mobile devices. So mobile is going to become important. Let's look at what's happening on the smartphone thing. Why is it so important? And this is somewhere, I think this is the biggest eye-opener. When I saw this slide, I said, man, this is like, look at this slide. In 2011, the blue chart is smartphone. The red chart is the number of English print reach. So people who read English print, close to 30 million, that number was crossed by the smartphones last year. In this year, it will be 75, so close to 3x. And by next year, it will be close to 4x. Now, who uses a smartphone? A guy who understands English. A guy who's ready to do multiple things on smartphone. He doesn't buy a smartphone if he's going to do only talking and SMS on the phone. Smartphone means internet. In fact, 75 to 80% of the smartphone people are already connected on the internet. How much do they use is dependent on what are they using it for. In fact, to give you a statistics, in India, on Google search, the Google search engine, which most of you might be using, close to 50% of the search queries are already coming from mobile devices. So if you are making anything today, any communication, be it for print or be it for online or be it for television, think before you make it. Is this adaptable for mobile? Because that is the most convenient way to reach your consumer. There are more than 600 million people who are already connected through mobile phones. No newsprint, no television, no other medium will reach that consumer if you want to reach that mass base. 1,500 videos consumed online per second in India. Now let's look at the video store in India. Why is it so important? Over 50 million people in India are using YouTube. Now that's very important. That makes it a large video destination, and as Tushar said, as comparable to many of the leading English news or English or Hindi general entertainment channel on television. So it's becoming a platform in itself. So video becomes important. So if you have a video, just load it on YouTube. If you have a property coming with a video, just load it on YouTube. There are people waiting to watch everything on YouTube at their convenient time and when they want to watch it. By the way, this last mobile video consumption growing. So in fact, people always feel that in India, mobile internet connectivity is not so good. Close to 30% of YouTube viewership every day is from mobile devices in India. Imagine people watching on these internet connections which we currently have, and we keep on craving that the network falls. But yes, people watch video on mobile. Now let's move to real estate. You might be wondering, how does it matter to me? From a real estate point of view. And this is from Google search. So this data is primarily what we look at, how many people are looking for real estate on Google search engine. And this all data will be now, what I am presenting is for India. Real estate queries continue to grow at over 40% year on year. For the last 2 years, it's been growing at that rate. So if you really look at it, it's a steady growth happening every year. And over 30% of real estate queries are coming from mobile devices. Once again, from your industry point of view, once again, mobile becomes important. Who's looking for you? Many people would say, okay, internet पे तो सिर्फ बच्चे लोग जाते हैं. 15 साल से 25 साल के, that's the general image of internet online. 15 to 25 age, go to the net cafes or on their mobile looking for Shah Rukh Khan's posters or recent song. But let's look at real estate. What's happening? Who's looking for you? Who's looking for the real estate queries? Every month, more than 6 million users are researching real estate online. Every month. And these are uniques, 6 million uniques. So they might be coming multiple times, but every month, these are 6 million unique people, new people. Now let's look at how much does the English medium reach? 8 million, okay, leading. 75% of those readers are already researching for you online every month. So you release a full page ad in a leading English newspaper, 75% of them who might have seen this ad are researching about that project or that particular builder or that particular realty project on Google search, trying to find out what's happening on that project. And if you're not there, what happens? He might shift to someone else about whom he sees there. This is the age group breakup of these 6 million people who come on looking for real estate. So if you really look at that age group, if I have to remove the 15 to 24 age group, which is 23%, 77% of these people are serious real estate buyers. So they are very relevant for you. What are they searching for? So let's look at what kind of queries are coming on, okay? This one? Yep. You have a question on that? Okay.
In terms of the age group, what you have suggested, 35 to 44, you are mentioning 21%. So I mean, this is an ongoing basis, or it's one of, kind of survey being done?
Okay, so this is not a survey. So what we do is every quarter we look at our Google search queries Okay, so this data is valid for the last quarter, so April, May, June.
This would be changing?
You see, normally I wouldn't expect dramatic changes to come in these age groups. The demographics by and large would same. So, but if you ask me July, August, September, will it be exactly 21% for 35 to 44? It might be 20 or 22, but it will not vary big time. That's normally by and large the way it would be. Yes, but over a period of long time, so maybe next year this time, it might change by maybe 3 or 4% here or there depending on how the profile is moving.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, what are people searching for? Are they looking to buy? So this is what people search for. When we mean sale, it means purchase or sale or whatever. So it basically means a final buying or a selling transaction. 53% people are looking for that. 18% people looking for rental related queries. 8% people look for the brand name of the builder. So be it a DLF, be it a Unitech, be it a Hiranandani, be it a Rahejas, that is what the people look for. And as I said, I was searching for that particular builder. So that is one of the queries which will fall in real estate builders, which is 8%. And then online real estate aggregators, for example, like Magic Bricks or Makan. That's the way people would look for. So close to 53% people are looking for a clear intent to buy. Because maybe I don't know if they are looking for a builder's name, are they looking to buy or not, I can't say. If they are looking for an aggregator like Magic Bricks, I don't know whether he is looking for buying or renting. But the 53% people clearly show an intent to buy. And what is currently trending hot? So I don't know how many of you read in Times of India, who's being most searched online, and then you see Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Katrina Kaif and all those things. So I said, okay, let me look at what is being searched on real estate in India. So some of the good names, this is not an exhaustive list and this is not in any order. This is a plain simple list of some random names which we thought make sense. So top builders, these are the top builders being looked at for on Google search currently. And let's look at top city. I don't know. Should I read it out? Okay, so as I said, this is indicative list, guys. So don't hold me by it that the other builders are not being looked for. But okay, I'll read it out. Shobha, Prestige, BPTP, Brigade, CBRE, Nitesh, Mantri, DLF, Piyush, Raheja, Hiranandani. And as I said, not in any order. And these are the top cities where searches are coming from. Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai, Calcutta, Delhi, Trivandrum, Cochin, Coimbatore, Ahmedabad, Gurgaon. As I said, this is one thing which I think, so we did a recent, just about 6 months back, we did a research along with Nielsen. So this is a very interesting study. In a survey of auto purchases conducted by Nielsen, 96% of online consumers used search throughout their purchase cycle. In fact, 42% started their journey with search. Now, this is a high value purchase. I know it's not comparable to real estate. Real estate would be upwards of 1 crore maybe. This is in the range of 5 to 15, 20 lakhs. But an indication that people do research online. I think this is a point which Tushar has already spent, but just to give you an idea, just look at this right-hand side chart. Time spent on internet per day is close to 57 minutes. On print, it is close to 28 minutes. I think the numbers speak for themselves. Now, how do you reach your digital customers? And Tushar has given some idea about it. I'll just try to give some perspective from our point of view. First of all, you should have a great website. First, basic necessity. Great website, very interactive, updated daily, if possible, at least weekly, with whatever comments you have. Some comments from your users, some purchasers, whatever. But it has to be updated daily. Only then you show up regularly good on even the search engine optimization, so the organic results on Google search. Have that. If you have that, then create awareness about your website, about your brand, online. I'll tell you how to do that, but first is to create awareness about that brand online. So that once the awareness is done, so once people start seeing your brand name everywhere, they start searching for you. Okay, they say, yeah, makes sense. This builder I've seen many times, so the builder seems to be good, the project seems to be good. Let me find out details about it. Then they go to Google search or Bing search or whatever, and they try to research about the project. Be there. Give as much details as possible there. Make the consumer aware about all the details, final details which you can. And then give him a push. Once he's done that, he would have come to your website, gone through your multiple web pages, seen your multiple projects on your website. Now you know that person is interested. Then give him a push. Push him to buy your property. How to do that? That also I'll tell you. And once you pushed him, coerce him, cajole him, coax him to do and take an action. That also you can do online. So now let's look at how this is done. So awareness. So let's go through the phase one, which is display branding. So create a lot of awareness online. So the way you release a full page ad in a newspaper, you don't need to release a full page ad every time. So you can be on display network, you can be on YouTube, you can be on Facebook, you can be on Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. Create awareness about your brand, about your project, which is upcoming. That will make customer think about your project or your brand. Then get to the search level, where the customer starts looking for details about your product, because in the ad he will only see one photograph or something about it. So he'll start looking details. At that point of time, be on search, create awareness about it, because he is researching at that point of time, trying to find out more details about your project. Then get into social, because that is where he will want some kind of a feedback from his friends, his colleagues, or people who bought. So at that time, a Twitter handle from your website, a LinkedIn, a Facebook comment, a G+ comment helps. If there are many positive feedbacks from multiple users about your project, consumer is getting a confidence that he should buy. Then create a push, and that is where remarketing will come in and YouTube will come in. Create a high impact, ask him to buy, show him all the possible things which he can do. And when you start remarketing, he will definitely get pushed to buy it. This is in summary, so I made it very simple because I didn't want to get into details of how SEM is done or how digital marketing is done, because I am sure your teams, your agency teams are capable of doing this, but in case you need any details or any help, more than ready to help. Google team is more than ready to help you out. I have 2 more colleagues of mine sitting here. But this is in summary how you can reach your consumer. That's what I had. I'm open to any questions if you have.
Yeah, here. Hello.
Yeah.
See, English is the main language for surfing the internet. How is the response for other languages with regard to the Google experience in India after English?
Okay, so if you really look at the growth of internet in India, the first 150 million people who are on internet already are the English-speaking people. Okay, the next 150 million people who will become on internet in the next 2 to 3 years will be the people who might not read English, who might not write English necessarily. So what do you do? So one of the answers which most of the people give is, why not create content in Hindi or Marathi or Gujarati or Tamil language, right? So if I create content in Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, whatever, all languages possible, in terms of my website has Marathi, my website is Gujarati, my website is Tamil, will it help? I want an honest answer from people. Do you think it will help?
I think people are using that
It
Google
might help to
translation.
some extent, right? But what if internet becomes voice-based and I can talk to internet in my language and I get whatever in my language? I think that is what will change this world in this country. So at this point of time, to your question, yes, internet reach is limited to people who speak, write English or read English. But yes, that is the SEC A-B class in India, and that is where most of the 50 lakh and above properties are sold at this point of time.
Hi,
Yeah.
hi Nitin.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of your slides showed that there are 8 million people who can be reached by English newspapers, and then 75% then follow it on the internet. So is it sequential that first they see that word and then they...
Okay, so it was only on
Because-
the only mistake is that both the numbers are on the same slide. Okay.
And the linked question is that the buying a property is a family buying decision. You know, it cannot be like, so lady in the family also has a very strong say in this process.
Yeah, yeah.
And another link question is that unless you see the property, that's the reason why a lot of developers first create a sample flat and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So
So is it
To give you a
first the advertisement in the newspaper followed by the research further?
okay, so there's no necessarily there's no order in it, but if you remember my last slide, I very clearly said no. So I just want to go back. Is that slide back there? I don't know. So you need not necessarily be on the newspaper. Newspaper. By the way, guys, I'm not saying do not advertise on newspaper. Newspaper is good. It's brilliant because you cannot have the full page ad impact on any internet medium. By the way, never. So I'm not saying that. The way to look at if you decide to go purely online is you don't need to necessarily have a full page ad on Times of India or on any newspaper. What you can do is you can do a similar impact through online branding. So timesofindia.com, just take there. indtv.com, be there. moneycontrol.com, be there. YouTube, be there. Facebook, be there. So wherever this 150 million people go, they will see your brand name, they will see your advertisement, and then they will start looking for your brand on Google search. So I'll give you an example to you. For example, if suppose I was to start I was to get into this real estate industry now, and I start a new company called Nitin Builders, suppose. No one would know about it, so no one would be searching about it, right? So the first thing I will have to do is to create awareness about Nitin Builders. So what I will have to do is I have to create multiple banner ads on multiple websites across all the websites and say, this is what I am, Nitin Builders, Nitin Builders. So you go to ndtv.com, you see this ad. You go to timesofindia.com, you see this ad of Nitin. Then you'll say, who's this Nitin Builders? Let me find out details about it. What are his projects? And that is when they'll start searching for it. And that's what I meant, the order is like that. It can be a multiplier effect also. But I would say it's a reinforcing effect more, because if the consumer sees your ad on Times of India, for example, or in Lokmat, or in Maharashtra Times, and doesn't find you anywhere on the internet, he will question, who are you? If he's an educated customer. I can take only one question, apparently. Yeah? Any one.
Hi, my name is Satyavir. I'm a correspondent with Realty Plus. I'm a correspondent, I'm a journalist with Realty Plus magazine. My question is that you spoke about awareness, you spoke about research, push. What about reputation management? What's your take on reputation management, online reputation management? Because as you know, real estate is a very opaque market. Like people still don't have that kind of trust on, I mean, if you compare
Don't say in
to
this medium at
FMCG
least
or
also.
IT, that's true. I mean, that's true. That I mean, still that kind of, in comparison to other sectors, it's more opaque.
You see,
So what's your take on?
Okay, on internet there's nothing called opaqueness. So you'll have to be very careful if you're online. You have to be very careful what you're doing online and what is being written about you online. And I think Tushar in his deck referred to it, that you have to be very active on Twitter, on Facebook, on every social platform, and ensure that you are there to give the right information to the consumers who are writing about you, reading about you, or commenting about you. So you will have to be very active on the social platform. As I said, it's a transparent medium.
Nitin, what I meant to say that basically a lot of developers now, they are going for this reputation management on social media.
They should.
Because they need to track what people are saying about their company, about their brand. So is it growing? Do you see that it will grow in future in terms of developers are being more careful about what's happening on social media about the brand? So this is what I mean to say.
Yeah, so okay, so that's not a question. What you are saying is right. In fact, I would support, I think every builder, every project should be far more socially active to ensure that your reputation is taken care of. And this trend will keep on increasing with every day as the number of internet users multiply. So in fact, you've been seeing what's happening recently. One minister made one statement and it was blown out of proportion, whether right or wrong, I'm not commenting on that, but it was blown out of proportion just through two mediums, Twitter, Facebook, and all the other social mediums. So you'll have to be very careful about it. It will grow, it will multiply. And in fact, as once again Tushar said, even politics is getting affected by social media. So there's no question that you would not be impacted by social media.
One last question.
Last one.
Hitesh Podar from Nirman Group. I wanted to know what is the ideal budget that should be going to
No, I wouldn't comment about the budget part of it because then it would look like me trying to sell you guys Google platform.
Still some statistics, some study, something that you might have.
Okay, so okay, if I wear my Google hat, I will say give 100% to us here. But okay, so let me be neutral. You see, at the end of the day, you have to believe the medium, okay? And each medium plays a role, be it TV, be it print, be it digital. The fact of the matter is that television reaches close to 500 million people in India, okay? So if you are trying to create a brand image and a mass image, go on TV, makes sense. But if you are a niche brand, so for example, if you are a builder who sells only in Bombay or only in Bombay and Pune, a national channel, a national television broadcast just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, now second, coming to print. Print definitely makes an impact because as I said, a full page ad on any newspaper front page is of course an ego booster to everyone because mera full page ad aaya. But the second is it kind of makes an impact. Every person who picks up the newspaper can't miss it. So the impact is very different from it. The only thing which I would say about digital is if you want to measure the impact of what's happening, there's no better medium than digital. There's no better medium than measuring impact of every money or every paisa you spend. This is the medium where you will find out how many persons saw my ad, how many people clicked on my ad, how many people came to my website, how many bought from them, right up to the last day you can find out. So this is the only medium which can tell you that. So if you want to measure return on investment, best medium. Okay,
Nitin,
thanks a lot. I'm running out of time.
Sorry, Nitin, I'll have to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Just one last a couple of questions, I think, which are very technology oriented, and I don't think I'd be able to pose this to someone else. So I'd like to shoot these questions to you. Firstly, as Google, and you're being the evangelist of the entire CPC thing, what do you think real estate, the industry should look at, a CPM or a CPC model in terms of advertising? That's my first question. And point number two, as an advertiser or as a marketer, what must I do to prevent, a lot of the fake clicks and other things that happen online? As a marketer, that's one of the biggest challenges that we face, where you don't know if really the click-through rate is real. Basically, are we talking about, are the people who are clicking online, are they the real guys, or are they bots running behind? What should I do as a marketer to prevent that? And what does Google or a Facebook or a Pinterest or somebody else provide us in return to take care of these things? These are a couple of questions, please.
Okay, in the interest of time, I will be as brief as possible. The first question, whether should I go for CPC or CPM model? CPM model is to create awareness. CPC model is to measure return on investment. Okay, I can give you details about this when I am off the stage. But in a broad level, as I said, is my slide still not showing? Can I somehow project that slide? I'll just, yeah. So if you look at the first phase 1, that is the point where you should be clear about CPM, because that is branding. You are trying to create awareness about your brand. Okay? The moment you get into any of these next levels, search, social, or even retargeting, that is the time you should say, am I getting buck for my money which I am spending? That is CPC. Am I getting the return on investment? You should measure that. And what was your second question?
The second question
okay,
is
the
about
fake clicks.
Yeah, how do I ensure that, my online spend is not going waste?
Okay, so by the way, you can measure everything, okay? And I have a friend of mine here, Sudhir Pai from Magic Bricks, who believes firmly on digital, because their entire business is on digital medium. And he can maybe, Sudhir, I would request you to cover this. How do you take care of that? From Google point of view, let me honestly admit, and Sudhir will vouch this, whenever we see something fishy, okay, there are cases, I wouldn't deny, there are cases where someone has just gone and clicked on your ads. We see that, and we definitely give credit to the advertiser for that. That mechanism, Google has that mechanism to find out if there is a pattern. If we find a pattern which is very clearly bot kind of thing, then we definitely give the credit to the advertiser, and he's taken care of it. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, Nitin.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitin. Don't run away. Don't run away. Nitin, please don't run away. Could I have you back on stage, please? Thank you. That was just so informative. I was at a brand summit in Nepal last week, and it was all about digital. It was all about digital and how this is, forget our future, but how it is today. Just reaffirming a lot of what you said. That was super informative. Thank you. We have got a tablet that's going to be given away very soon again. And I'm sorry? May I invite on stage Mr. Augustine from Terraform Reality to please come on stage and present a memento to Nitin. Thank you, Nitin. That was really helpful. Please. Yes.
I'm sorry, I really missed, and thanks, Augustine, for pointing out. I think he reminded me that I did not cover the NRI part of the business. I'm extremely sorry. I just didn't realize. But in fact, I was sitting with Sudhir a few days back. I'm sure most of you know Sudhir from Magic Bricks. Sudhir, you should cover how NRI is so important from a digital point of view. Because frankly, if you want to reach your customers who are sitting in US, UK, Middle East, Australia, wherever they are, Times of India is not going to reach there. It's only digital which can reach there. So, and Magic Bricks can reach there. Thanks.
Thank you, Nitin. Augustine, can I have you back on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day. It's Augustine's birthday, so could we have a huge round of applause for the birthday boy? Happy birthday. Thank you. To present the Samsung tablet, again, we will have a business card picked out from the bowl and read out. May I invite on stage Mr. Ali Lokhandwala, if you could please come on stage to draw the lucky card. This time I've put 10 cards in, so look, please, before you draw the card out. No, I'm just kidding. No, don't look, my card's not there. No, you didn't cheat. Come, please.
Mr. Chintan Sampath from Ajmera Realty.
Thank you, Ali. Congratulations, Chintan. Congratulations. Thank you, Ali.